All right, it is 6:30. I made it. It is September 12th. Hopefully everyone had a decent day yesterday. 9/11 is not an easy day for, most people who are sort of around my age, because they were pretty much in the cities in their 20s when all that chaos happened. So thoughts to everyone who was affected. We always just move forward, right? If you're not moving forward, you're not going anywhere. Either which way. I was also at the Jet game last night. Holy cow. Aaron Rodgers goes down after 3 plays, but the boys rallied, picked up a win. I don't know how many more they're going to get, but anyway, my dad always told me, go out with the boys, you got to wake up like a man. So here I'm in the office, going to get my 30, 40 charts together. Let's see if we're streaming. Maybe we're streaming. We're working today, I think. We working? Looks like we're working. Let's see if I can say hello to some of my dogs around the world. Hey, I think it's happening. I had my tech guy come in and fix, but we'll, they're a little streaming issues. Anyway, what is it? Today's Tuesday. If you look around the world, Europe's down a little bit. Asia's pretty mixed. S&P futures down about 10 handles. Not a big deal, considering we were up about 30 yesterday. Oracle did underwhelm a little bit. It was kind of priced for perfection, so we'll see what that does. We'll see how it affects software and cloud and other tech. Money's been rotating. We've had a decent move the past 3 sessions. It's been pretty tradable, and we're going to continue to just try and connect some of the dots. So with that being said, good morning to everybody. Let's just get going here, right? If this is the S&P cash, yesterday's low is 44.67. We'll see if we can hold above that and absorb some of this morning weakness. We do have the CPI tomorrow, which is going to be a big deal. Right now we're definitely over focused on inflation because it does seem sticky. So the market would like to see a little bit of a weaker CPI versus a hot CPI. And then you have the ECB Thursday, and we have the Apple event today. We'll get to that in a second. So, if you do trade the SPYs, right now the SPYs are down 65 cents. Not a whole big deal, right? Today, maybe we'll see what happens. Does the SPYs go from red to green? If it did, that'd be a decent little trade. Market was down a little bit more beforehand. This is 446.47. Can we hold above 446.47 and continue this trend off of the lows from last Thursday? Controlled pullback into support. That made some sense, right? The Qs were stronger yesterday, but maybe with Oracle's weakness, we'll see, what kind of action we have. It's also going to depend on whether or not they sell the event for Apple. The whole iPhone event's not supposed to be, revolutionary. It's just kind of evolutionary, which we're used to. They typically try and sell the event. We'll see how it goes. Q's low from yesterday is 373.66-ish. So we'll see if we could hold this and go a little sideways. That would be pretty, that would be a decent trade also. If you remember yesterday, we walked in and Morgan Stanley had a huge, upgrade on Tesla. Tesla became a good focus. When Tesla's in play, usually Red Dog's making good money because when Tesla reacts well and has a nice active sequence, and when it's leading, there's a lot of money to be made there for traders. So with that being said, you look at Tesla, that was up by 25 yesterday, down a little bit today, not the biggest deal. So at this point, you have a big gap to trade against. Remember this inside wedge, which was not the easiest to trade when that was happening. Resolved to the upside. Yesterday, I posted the chart. I'm like, if we could hold this 261-ish area, which was the top end, chances are, it could get going. And it really, basically held it by 50 cents. It's not a perfect science. It's just like a zone. And this zone held. And right now, Tesla is, down a whole $1.20. So what would be good is if I would say, I'd like to see Tesla hold like 268 to 270. Maybe you could buy it a little bit in the hole and then let it go red to green, and then we'll see if it has enough, power to push above yesterday's high, to continue. But chances are it doesn't really have to do that. Let's just hold in there. When people like Red Dog, what do you mean by an active sequence that's special? Well, if you're long, this is a swing trade because it cleared this inside wedge acting special means, like, just say you took home 500 shares of Tesla, okay, just saying, and then it's down $1.30. You could maybe add 300-400 because it gives you a relative strength signal. What's that? I mean, maybe close to the open. SPYs are down 70 cents, pulls in a little bit. Tesla doesn't go down. You buy 500 more shares, maybe. Just say you had 500, you buy 500 more. All of a sudden, it goes from down $1.50 or $2 to up 50 cents. You just made $2 on some of that. You sell some, you hold some. Then all of a sudden, it pushes above 274.81 to 276, and then you sell some of that there. And then you get to less than you had overnight. You just made 2 cash flow trades, and you're still sitting in the name, and you're managing the range. That's what I mean by special. What's not special would be as if, it opens down $1.20 and then falls 10 and doesn't give you a bounce and doesn't give you a way to manage positions. That's when you have a little bit trappy misdirection type of tape, which is not the greatest for traders. Anyway, Oracle, some guys like, Red Dog, what's going to happen here? Well, Oracle is pretty much priced for perfection. This is some pretty big support right around this 111 gap area. What I would do is I would see, where it opens. Maybe you could trade it versus a 5-15-minute low, and then it bounces off there, and then your risk is defined. But if it can't get going, who knows, how much of today's gap you're going to have to move forward with. Okay, I'll watch it. I'm not going to really trade Oracle that much. Apple right now, pre-event, hasn't been great. Everyone's going to have something to say about Apple, but the bottom line is, it broke this active trend all the way up here. This was your big gap and go to the downside post earnings. Then it gave you this Red Dog reversal when it reclaimed 173. Then up here, that's when the China ban news came out. It broke below 187, got some people out because this potential bull flag turned into a push below. And now we're really in no man's land here. It's a conundrum, right? You have the Apple's trading at a higher valuation than it normally has in the past decade. Even if there's not a full government ban in China, that's a percentage of their sales. You could say 10 different ways about the Apple story. Bottom line is, over time, investors in Apple win. Traders have to be a little careful with their sizing and how they approach it. And for right now, yesterday it opened up and was sold. They found some support. This gap pretty much was filled, so we can get rid of it. Okay, here is a little bit of a mini range. So if you want to be kind of cute, here's the range. Okay, this is 180.30. This is yesterday's low, so we'll see which way this range wants to break today, and then that'll also give us some clues for tech. So if you want to simplify it, Red Dog is a simple man. I am a simple man. I like my ice barrel and I like my sauna, and I like a steak sandwich with an IPA. Do you guys like any of that? And the Jets to win, which doesn't happen that often. So here's Apple. Apple right now is up 60 cents, showing a little relative strength. What do I mean? Well, Oracle's down 9%. This is up a little bit, so it's showing some relative strength in the morning. Anyway, so it's at 179.93, a little bit below this spot. Maybe it tries to fill this gap, and then see what's happening around 1 o'clock. NVIDIA's been a little weaker, which is fine. Maybe the chips get a little attention because software could be a little bit lower because of maybe how they deal with Oracle. So, but for now, NVIDIA did hold the 50-day. I talk about a two-way trade. Some people are like, Red Dog, what's a two-way trade? Well, yesterday NVIDIA was up $5, went from up 5 to down like 10. So if you shorted the open with relative weakness, you made some good money. Then if you knew where the 50-day was and you knew where it kind of found support over here, and you saw the divergence midday, you had to find risk to buy against. So you could have made money short or long, or you could have lost money both ways if you bought the open and then and then you tried to short a rally. But anyway, that sucks when that happens. Here's NVIDIA. NVIDIA's down $1.50. Here's your new point of reference. What was this from yesterday? 461.63. Might as well put that in there. Points of references are ways for us to hold on. What I should say that was measure risk, right? Because some people are, oh, NVIDIA is coming all the way down to here. Well, if it's going to do that, it's got to get below and stay below 461.33, or it hangs in here a little bit and goes from red to green. We'll see. Wondering if people could actually watch this live. If you're watching this live, it's 6:40. It's September 12th. Somebody say what's up to the Red Dog. Let me see if I can see you guys. Where's some of the crew? So let's just see. Otherwise, hopefully I'm not just talking to myself, which would not be fun. I just do that sometimes, midday in the sauna. But anyway, so a lot of people like Red Dog. I can't believe MSOS finally had a real move. I'm like, well, I remember on this day, I spoke to some of the hammers in the cannabis group, and they were saying that news was real, that safe banking is real. It's all coming soon. It's not like the boy who cried wolf. All in all, it's had a big move. It's been pretty sustainable. Where can it go? Looks like there's room into this 1050, 1350 area. Some people think it's going to go out. Oh, I got a high right there. What up, Chris? Everyone's like sleepy. I should be sleepy. I've been out for the last 2 nights. I was at Rocktoberfest Saturday on a microphone from 12 o'clock to 11 o'clock at night. My voice is gone, but still getting up. Did the ice barrel today. Got a little refreshed. Anyway, so if you look at the weekly chart of MSOS, yeah, I would think this is pretty realistic. Not going to happen in a day, but I'm just saying, it could happen. Look at this this 3-week move. So sure, and this huge volume. So we'll see. Just be careful, don't get a false insecurity there. What else has been working? Some people have been in, CRWD. I listed that a few times. CrowdStrike, big gap post earnings. It's been trending since. Uber's been really good for some guys. It also, just what's it called? It did a Red Dog reversal right there, right? Went below this prior low, reclaimed it. I'm not in Uber. I took an Uber yesterday. They have all those new type of things in there where you'll notice when you're in the Uber, there's going to be like a TV screen that they're allowed to put up at the back of the passenger, and they're going to play some TV shows, but they're also going to have some advertisements. So now Uber's selling advertising. So anyway, what about the XLE? Well, energy's been pretty strong. Pretty bearish candle yesterday. Energy's names are hard to trade. Even though this channel's been good and some guys have been riding this trend because it's been grinding since it broke this descending channel here. Every now and then don't get a false sense of security because it usually goes up when it looks the worst and goes down the opposite way. But either which way, pretty bearish candle. So be careful. You'll see if the 8-day holds or not. What's it doing this morning? The XLE is up 34 cents. So if you are active, I would say make sure you're using this. I would use the 8-day. The 21-day is all the way down here, and you could always revisit depending on your time frame. Bitcoin's been not a great trade lately. Very hard. I don't like to trade hard things. Trading is hard enough. But anyway, Bitcoin is up a little bit this morning. Yeah, well, let's see. So it hasn't been a lot of volatility in Bitcoin. Maybe they're really trying to keep it steady so they can have it as a currency. Anyway, last time it broke, a lot of the moving averages was at 29. And then if you remember that ETF news, it went up and then they rejected it real fast. And now they tried to break it down and they came right back up. There's not a whole lot to do in Bitcoin right now. If you're accumulating Bitcoin for 10 years from now for it to be higher, do it every month, kind of like accumulating the S&P. It's all about your time frame. If you're trading Bitcoin, we had a few good trades this year, starting, when it cleared this channel, or even right here, that was a nice little pivot point area, technical buy area. And then this is pretty good. And then this, this is where it broke down from right in here. Kind of hard to tell. So just know what you're doing here. There was some decent action in like Mara and Riot and Coin, but for those things to act well, Bitcoin really needs to be trending, making higher lows and higher highs. And right now it's been a little bit of a choppy mess. So don't over focus on those. So with that said, let me leave you with the Qs. We'll see what goes on with tech today. Does Oracle get isolated weakness? Does it make a low in the first 5-15 minutes? We'll see. At this point, the Qs have support right around 370, 367-ish. So we'll see, does that hold? Can you buy it to go from red to green? If it were to trade below this, that probably wouldn't be good for active longs. I will see if I could buy more Tesla into the maybe 268-ish area for it to go at least red to green once. And we'll see what happens with Apple. Amazon was really strong yesterday. Nice candle. Remember this red dog reversal on Thursday? What does that mean? It opened below 134.62, reclaimed it inside day, and now I would see, can this go from red to green and then potentially take out the August highs? It's been a very selective tape, meaning not every stock is created equal, which it never is anyway. So just know what you're playing, know where it's been, know what's happening, know what dictates the action, and just continue to net money and keep making progress. You don't need to be perfect to make progress. Just a few steps in the right direction makes you happy and can put some money in your pocket, and you can keep evolving your process. I appreciate you. Thanks for tuning in. Can you get back on track? Last few days had some tech issues, and on Monday just I know everybody likes consistency. I like to be consistent also. I like to be able to turn it on at 6:30, 6:31, and boom, get a 20-minute take from the red dog. Hopefully that'll be the case moving forward as we roll through the fall. I appreciate you. Thanks for tuning in. Later, guys.